YouTube. All right, guys, we're going to rock and roll here shortly. Take a look at the screen for today's headlines. Take a look at the screen for today's headlines. We are live on YouTube, J-Dubs.
Excellent.
Excellent.
My friend got a kick out of the Simpsons quotes portion of our show the other day.
Which friend was that?
That was Will. Oh,
listen to the show?
Yeah. I don't think he saw the whole thing, but he caught the Simpsons part, and he was cracking up.
I got some feedback from Lisa Costello on YouTube in the comment section that said our personalities are perfectly complementary for a talk show like this. Exact words in the YouTube comment section. This is from a few days ago. Sometimes. Well, when you're not interrupting me.
Oh, yeah. That's rich, says the pot to the kettle.
Throwing rocks in glass houses.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't mind if you interrupt me. Sometimes you interrupt me and I can't hear you. Like yesterday, twice. Can we go with a hand signal where you're like this?
Sometimes I'm just talking to the crowd while you're continuing on and on and on and on.
It is a talk show.
I know.
And I have the quarterback position of the show.
Yeah.
Like and share the show. Like and share the show, viewers and listeners. Retweet the show. Ginny Who, thank you for retweeting the show. We appreciate you very much, Ginny Who. Let me ask viewers and listeners this question. So should the UVA student body be strategically diverse, or should the UVA student body be the top performing students possible, the most top performing students possible? That's an entire talk show right there.
Yeah.
What is the best fit for the University of Virginia student body? The most top performing students, which would mean the most selective applicant pool possible, or is the best execution of a UVA student body the most diverse from a socioeconomic standpoint possible? We'll have that talking point storyline on today's program because black applicants are being offered at a significantly lower rate now that Donald Trump's imploded diversity, equity, inclusion at Thomas Jefferson University. We'll talk about that on the program today. I want to talk about the Augusta Free Press. Chris Graham, the publisher of the Augusta Free Press, is, would you say attacking? Is that the right word, Judah?
He's definitely...
targeting is maybe a better word?
Yeah, singling out, targeting. I mean, I'm just looking at the number of times that he's mentioned Jesse Rutherford.
Rutherford.
I'm sorry.
He comes on our network all the time.
Yeah, and I'll probably pronounce it wrong the next time he comes on.
You've had beers with him. Good man. He attacked Jesse Rutherford.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on with Nelson County and the Augusta Free Press in a brouhaha of epic proportions, where Chris Graham, the publisher and owner of the Augusta Free Press, has now encouraged his readers to stop spending their dollars in Nelson County because 4 Nelson County supervisors voted against gerrymandering or redistricting and voted in favor of gun rights.
Yeah, I'm getting a little tired of people taking out their political kinks,
vendettas
against anyone that has a different viewpoint. Does anyone out there really just stop spending money at stores, at food and beverage places because
according to the Charlottesville subreddit it does?
Yeah, I know, but that's like
the dregs of society. Judah hates when I call the Charlottesville subreddit the dregs of
I
society.
think it's hilarious.
I went
really,
5 of
because
5 of 7 days last week with the Jerry Miller reference on the Charlottesville subreddit. Let's see if we can pick up momentum again on the Charlottesville subreddit with a Jerry Miller or I Love CVille show reference. The Charlottesville subreddit, the dregs of society.
I think it's hilarious because I've been on Facebook and then if you go, I mean,
Let's talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
But the difference is the names are on. Your face and your name versus an anonymous. All right, we'll talk about it on the show.
sometimes.
We'll talk about it on the show. Like and share the show, viewers and listeners. We work hard for you. Like and share the show. Let's rock and roll.
Quiet on the set.
What's up, Spencer Pushard? What's up, Barbara Becker-Tilly? Hammer that like button. Hammer the like button. Deep throat. ¿Qué pasa, chico? Kate Charts, hello. Todd Proctor, hello. Richard Fox, hello. Good Tuesday afternoon, guys. I'm Jerry Miller, and thank you kindly for joining us on the I Love CVille show. It's an absolute pleasure to connect with you guys through the water cooler of content and conversation in Charlottesville, across Central Virginia, the Commonwealth, the country, and the world. It's our flagship show. A lot we're going to cover on the program. Maybe we start with the social media banter of which platform is more catering to the dregs of society. I went last week 5 of 7 days on the Charlottesville subreddit with a mention, accolade, or acknowledgement. I'm hoping to pick up that streak and go 6 of 7 this week. Charlottesville subreddit, giddy up.
How? I mean, that means you got to work for it on the weekend.
No, they're talking about Jerry Miller and the I Love CVille show on the weekend. It's literally one of the most, that and the Ethiopian restaurant are one of the most talked about talking points. The I Love CVille show, yours truly, and the Ethiopian restaurant are the subredditors are intoxicated with those 3 topics. I'd like to continue the momentum and the intoxication this week as well. Judah Wickower, he believes Facebook is the dregs of society. And its comments.
No, I just believe you can't escape it by going to some other social media platform.
All right, well, we'll talk
Reddit
about
is
it.
By far not the worst.
2-shot yourself so they can see the dashing Judah Wickower. Ladies, Judah Wickower is single and ready to mingle. Give them your best blue steel over here, Judah Wickower.
Oh, good Lord. Let's see. There's something like...
All right, I got to tell the viewers and listeners when to look. So, because
No,
some of them
I
might
don't- I don't know
just.
if
No,
I
you got to do blue steel again.
I don't know if I could put that much.
You
that
did the
much
duck lips over there.
charisma on my face again without breaking something.
You did the duck lips
getting
over
old.
there. Judah Wickower, blue steel for the ladies. He's single and ready to mingle. He's a homeowner here.
It's been a while since I've seen the movie, so I have no idea how badly I'm screwing that up.
Ben Stiller is fantastic in that movie. Absolutely
Yes, I'm
fantastic.
not really a fan of that kind of comedy.
Well, you
very
don't
often.
like humor, and you certainly don't like slapstick.
Sometimes I just sometimes it just seems like it's doing it for its own sake.
You've worked here 16 years, and the most laughing at jokes that I see you do are the jokes that you offer yourself.
I knew that was coming.
Katie Mullins says you absolutely nailed it right there with Blue Steel. She's
you.
got a fantastic listing. Should we give some love to Druid Avenue? Fantastic listing, ladies and gentlemen. Katie Mullins has, and we'll acknowledge it. What do you love about what's on screen right now with Katie Mullins' listing as you take the quarterback position? Let's see how well you do here, quarterback Judah Wickower.
Oh man, it's already over. It's a great little spot. It's the area is wonderful if you've ever been down there. It's pretty much central to everything, and this place has a built-out basement that would be great to rent out. I mean, that's what my parents are doing with their place. They built a little place in the basement.
Oh, your parents are Airbnb-ing, short-term renting.
Yeah, although a lot of them have been long-term. By and large, they're getting people from UVA Hospital who are visiting loved ones. This would be a great spot for that.
4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, $699,000. She'll happily show it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic upside right there. Jennifer is asking for Judah Wickower's Blue Steel one more time.
Oh my goodness.
He's single and ready to mingle, ladies. Homeowner, fantastic job. And his mom crochets the best quarter zips out there.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that an Ann Wickhauer original right there?
No, this is not. I think this is probably Old Navy or something.
Lauren says you can walk to Belmont Park, which she loves, from 919 Druid Avenue.
Yeah.
She puts that in the feed. Charlottesville subreddit, The Dregs of Society. My case is based on, in part, because I love the momentum and the mentions of the show and yours truly on the Charlottesville subreddit. I have that, what is it called? That like, not masochist, but, you know.
Yeah. A little masochistic streak.
I mean, it's like, do the Kardashians really care that they're in the National Enquirer?
Right. I mean, it's like you tell someone, "Oh, did you hear what they said about you?" And the guy's like, "I don't care. They're talking about me."
It's a talk show that's based on recognition.
Yeah.
And the viewership and listenership is off the chain. From my standpoint, the subreddit, with the anonymity and the keyboard muscle flexing and the fact that people can hide behind burner accounts, makes it the dregs of society. Facebook, you're at least keyboard muscling and keyboard flexing with your name associated with the account in very large part, like 90% of the time. Sure, there's phony accounts that are out there, bot accounts, if you may, and unfortunately, they're popping up more prolifically now than ever. We just talked about this with Jerry Ratcliffe after the Jerry and Jerry show. There's a UVA sports group, I think it's like Cavalier Connection or something like that, that's out there, that's posting nothing but AI, phony, fake content about cheerleaders and sickness and deaths. I think they mentioned Wally Walker had passed away. He's still alive and kicking.
Who is this?
This is a UVA sports group that's posting phony content on Facebook. Some kind of AI bot that's trying to galvanize group engagement to have some kind of nefarious intention, I'm sure, down the road.
And how is that not the dregs as well?
I know. I mean, I get it. Trust me.
X. Twitter is the same as Reddit. There's no. It's all anonymous. I mean, it doesn't have to be. You can give your name or not, but there's plenty of people that don't have their real name on there. They're all very different platforms, and there are different reasons why I think people gravitate towards one over the other. And I think you'll find the dregs no matter where you go.
Holly
They're
Foster.
there, and they don't care whether they're giving their name or not. That's just my take.
Holly Foster watching in Henrico. She says 919 Druid Avenue is gorgeous. And she thought it would have sold the first weekend. That's Holly Foster in Henrico. She's got champagne taste, Holly Foster. And I love that about Holly Foster. There's probably no one locally that spends more time in spas in Albemarle County than Holly Foster herself. And her pooch, her little dog, is it a toy poodle, Holly? Has got the life of luxury himself as well. A lot we're going to cover on the broadcast. How about the Augusta Free Press attacking Nelson County?
I mean, he says this Jesse Rutherford character.
He's talking, Judah's talking about Chris Graham, who's the publisher and the face of the brand, the Augusta Free Press. Augusta Free Press is calling on its readers to stop spending their money in Nelson County. Yeah. The line that I found most either appalling or shocking or surprising or compelling, depending on what side of the ideology fence you're on, is the one about Republicans. And you have it in front of you?
Yeah. I mean, I got to find which one you're talking about.
Republicans don't. You mentioned it to me directly before the show.
Oh yeah. Let me see. I don't think that's exactly how it went. Let me see.
Timing is a skill, Judah Wickhauer.
Well,
you literally said it right before the show. Chris Graham, in his commentary of the Augusta Free Press, said Republicans don't drink or ski What are the Nelson County Board of Supervisors doing
He
by
said-
supporting gerrymandering, redistricting, and gun rights?
MAGA doesn't ski, buy its beer at the grocery store, and doesn't drink wine. I mean, that's you couldn't make a more subjective statement if you wanted to in a news article.
Oh, Philip Boulanger's watching the program. He's commenting on the show. Do we have a lower third for Boulanger?
No, we don't.
We need to get a regular lower third for Philip Boulanger, who's watching in Richmond. Loves to go after me on the I Love CVille Facebook group. Imagine someone who has so much time in their lives, so much going on for him in his life, that he is appalled with the content that we create, yet comments often in the chat sections, the comment sections, under each unique piece of content. He comments so much that we've turned his last name into a verb. Boulangard. He says, keyboard flexing, that's you, Jerry. You are so boring and struggled to come up with ideas. Jerry. Philip Boulanger, you, my friend, make this program better, and you have been Boulangered. Hello, Philip Boulanger. Welcome to the broadcast.
Or actually, we've been Boulangered. No. Boulangered. When someone voluntarily engages with your content. So yeah, we've been Boulangered.
By Boulanger.
Yeah.
Boulanger has Boulangered us. Boulangered. Boulanger. A lot we're going to cover on the broadcast. Chris Graham, lower thirds. I think you got two of them. Augusta Free Press. Here's what I find odd about what the Augusta Free Press is doing, okay? And Chris Graham, I'm going to cover this from either side. I'm sure you will watch and listen to this commentary sometime today. First, let me start with positives. The positives. Chris Graham and the Augusta Free Press are prolific content creators.
No doubt.
Chris and Crystal and the team at Augusta Free Press churn and produce content at a clip that is without question impressive. You, Chris and Crystal, are churning content that is the water cooler of Augusta County. It's impressive. They've expanded their reach, the Augusta Free Press, to be a noteworthy source of UVA sports as well. They've also, jumped over the mountain and are covering Charlottesville and Albemarle County. They're covering statewide politics. I am significantly impressed, Chris, and your better half, Crystal, with the significance of your content creation. I sincerely mean that. I'm also impressed with your business sense. You saw the potential of content creation on the internet just about before anyone. Not before us. We've been doing this for, 18 years here, but just before anyone. And you filled a niche in Augusta County and on the other side of the mountain as the Daily News Record and as legacy media. WHSV has become a shadow of its former self. The Augusta Free Press is the source of the source for Augusta and Rockingham and content on the other side of the mountain. I read you all the time, Chris. Giving you props. Okay? Now, you attacking Jesse Rutherford and Nelson County seems curious at best, unhinged more realistically. Hear me out, Chris and Crystal and Augusta Free Press team. Your business model is tied to ad revenue and advertisers spending money on your platform. By you going after Jesse Rutherford and four supervisors, was it a 4-1 vote? What was the vote count, Judah? It may not be in the Augusta Free Press story. I think I saw it, and it was a 4-2 vote in Jesse Rutherford's comment section. The Nelson County supervisor responded with a photo yesterday. Are you logged into Facebook? You're not going to find the vote in the story. I would encourage you to go to Jesse Rutherford's Facebook page and post the photo, show the photo on screen that Jesse Rutherford posted yesterday on his page. I'm going to read what Jesse Rutherford posted in response to Chris Graham attacking him on the Augusta Free Press.
In a relaxed pose?
Yeah, drinking an old fashioned with his sunglasses on and his jeans, wearing jeans, his beard long, a vest, a puffy vest, while drinking an old fashioned, his leg kicked over a leather relaxing chair, an armchair. I thought it was a fantastic response from Supervisor Rutherford, who is a friend of mine. In that comment section, I learned that the vote was 4 in favor, 4 votes against, 4 votes against redistricting or gerrymandering. The Democrats of Virginia call it redistricting. The Republicans of Virginia call it gerrymandering. This is basically, the response to what Texas has done. Barack Obama, the chief spokesman in favor of redistricting or gerrymandering in the Commonwealth. I think I was asked by Hootie Ratcliffe off air if I think that this is going to pass in a couple of weeks. Is it going to be a yes vote? And I think overwhelmingly it will. I think overwhelmingly this referendum will. But 4 votes in favor of 4 votes against the gerrymandering and 4 votes pro-gun rights. And Chris Graham says, because of this, every reader of the Augusta Free Press should boycott Nelson County businesses and not spend their hard-earned money to generate tax revenue in a community, in a county that prides itself on craft beer, wine, cider, and skiing and tourism at Wintergreen. Mm-hmm. You got the Rutherford photo?
Yeah.
Put it on screen. I'll let you know how Jesse Rutherford responded here after the photo's on screen. Give me a thumbs up. Oh, it's on screen?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So here's how Jesse Rutherford responded to Chris Graham. This was posted yesterday after the show. This is me drinking. These are Jesse Rutherford's words now. Mm-hmm. This is me drinking an old fashioned in honor of all the people who hate me. Your words are weak. Your threats to boycott and cancel my hometown are pathetic. I stand on principle that gerrymandering is wrong and infringing on the Second Amendment is repulsive. P.S. Democrats aren't the only ones who drink and ski. Hashtag Augusta Free Press. Judah Wickower, my friend, single and ready to mingle, ladies. Where do you want to go with this one?
I mean,
and viewers and listeners, let us know your thoughts. Philip Boulanger, what are your thoughts? Are you going to Boulanger Jesse Rutherford? Or are you going to Boulanger Chris Graham? Philip Boulanger. Go ahead, Judah Wickower.
Two great tastes that don't taste great together. I'm not a fan of the gerrymandering, especially not because it's a because they did it scenario. That's poor reasoning for anything.
You're saying because Texas did it, now we have to do it Virginia in response to Texas to preserve democracy.
Pointing the finger and saying,
or anti-Trump control, some would say.
What about them? It's, if you were a kid, your parent would say, well, if your friend jumped off a bridge, would you do it too?
There it is.
No, you shouldn't say yes to that. I don't know why we're saying yes to this. And I'm also not a fan of, in this case, what would you call it? Would you call it trying to not dox? That's not the right word.
Cancel.
Yeah, cancel culture. An entire.
This is what the Charlottesville subreddit does, except Chris Graham is trying to cancel all of Nelson County.
Yeah, I don't think that's productive either, and I find it disturbing that more and more people have that type of mindset that anyone that votes differently than you do is deserving of disdain. Just there's enough hate in this world that we can hold that back from people that just believe a different way.
Ginny Who, we're going to get to your comments in a matter of moments. Deep Throat, we'll get to your comments in a matter of moments. Conan Owen, we'll get to your comments in a matter of moments. Kevin Yancey, Jeremy Wilson, we'll get to your comments in a matter of moments. The Queen of Henrico, Holly Foster, is watching, and her dog Luke is in fact a toy poodle, as I identified him. And she says he loves the Boar's Head and Keswick spas, and he's currently at a doggy spa getting his hair done right now. Nice. Holly Foster supports the Keswick and Boar's Head spas as much as anyone I have ever met. And if we all one day in our life could come back as either Holly or Luke, we would be very, very lucky. I sincerely mean that. She's a phenomenal human being. I enjoy seeing her. All right. Chris Graham, I'm going to offer my commentary. I've given you props already on this show. You create content at a rate that is more prolific than just about any content creator I know in the Commonwealth of Virginia. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the business acumen you showed being first to market in Augusta with local journalism at a time where the Daily News Record, the paper of record, and the TV and radio stations were falling by the wayside because legacy media is horrendous. Make sure I'm framed correctly. It looks like I'm all framed here, director and producer. I'm impressed with what you've done. I find it curious at best. I find it more realistically concerning that you're antagonizing and trying to cancel an entire county and its businesses that may be advertisers in your publication when you're a small business and your entire model is predicated on advertisers spending with you. I would imagine the entire county of Nelson County, Wintergreen, its breweries, its wineries, its small businesses, now will probably not advertise on the Augusta Free Press moving forward. So I find the behavior anti-business in a lot of ways. Makes no sense to me. Okay? So that's my 2 cents. I'm shocked by it, somewhat appalled, and I think cancel culture has gotten to a point where it's become laughable. The folks that do it on Charlottesville subreddit are like cartoonish. It's like a caricature behavior where you got the guy that's on the downtown mall or at Central Park and he's doing the cartoon spoof of you, the meme of you, and everything's louder and bigger and more pronounced. People laugh at it. That's what cancel culture has become in 2026.
A caricature.
It's caricature. It's laughable caricature behavior.
I find it angry, hateful, and childish, and I'm honestly appalled that so many adults think that's a good way to go about handling disagreements.
Well, it's a caricature. Ginny Hu watching the program. She says, because I'm a sane person and I would like to stay that way, I steer clear of Reddit, especially the Charlottesville subreddit. Ginny Hu. I like the references of the I Love CVille and yours truly on the Charlottesville subreddit. I'd like to go 6 for 7 with the reference, 6 of 7 days this week of a reference to either our show or me. So please giddy up and pick up the tempo, Charlottesville subreddit. Last week we made it 5 of 7 days. Let's go 6 of 7 days this week. Ginny Hu says, Jerry, cut Judah a break. You can't expect impersonations and perfect delivery time on answers in the same 5 minutes. Can I get Blue Steel again?
No.
Please?
No, I'm not going to keep doing Blue Steel all day.
Ginny Hu also says, credit where credit is due. At least Bootlanger isn't hiding behind an anonymous account. Plus, he is providing great entertainment. I absolutely agree.
Hold on. With a name like Bootlanger, I can't be 100% sure that he's not.
We need to get Bootlanger's photo and start putting it on screen. And anytime someone's been Bootlangered, we need to put his picture on screen. You think that's taking it too far?
Possibly a little too far.
It's a fine line because with kidding and being mean. I don't want to be mean. But I don't mind kidding to the point of edging up to being mean. Okay? What is the slightly nicer version of being mean?
The slightly nicer version of being mean.
Heckling is a slightly nicer version of being mean, isn't it? Heckling?
I think it depends. It's hard to say.
If I say I'm being a meanie instead of being mean, is meanie a slightly nicer version of mean? I don't mind being edging up to mean with Bootlanger. Deep Throat, his photo on screen. Love Deep Throat. Makes the program better all the time. He says this. MAGA doesn't drink wine. Trump wineries would like a word with Mr. Chris Graham. I'm pretty sure the Trump winery is crushing it, by the way.
But it's not all like I can't imagine that every Democrat has just stopped going to Trump winery. It's not like Trump lives there or runs the day-to-day operations.
I would bet you this, that Democrats
I'm sure
are
by and
much
large.
less likely to go to a Trump winery than Republicans are to go to.
Anywhere that's advertised as pro-Democrat.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The hate for Trump is more significant than the opposite of whatever that is.
I would broaden that and say the hate for Republicans.
Yes, I would give you that.
Like, there are definitely nutcases out there who are Republicans and who are hateful bastards and go around like, oh, I'm not going to shop anywhere that's, got a Narcan sign in their front window. But
That's the first thing you came with was the Narcan?
yeah, that was the first thing I came up with. But most of us,
The Narcan with the Democrats.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, come on. If we're being honest, you're not gonna roll into a business that's obviously pro-Republican and find a Narcan sign on the window.
I don't know if I buy that, but
You might be right,
I'll
and I might
roll
be
with
wrong.
it. I'm of the mindset if they provide a good service and they provide a good product and it tastes good and the customer service is good
I don't
and
care
it's a
what the
fair value,
politics are.
I'm going to go to it. And I prioritize local over big box
Yeah.
any day of the week and twice on Sunday. And speaking of local, Charlottesville Sanitary Supply. You can buy anything cleaning or sanitary related at charlottesvillesanitarysupply.com. They offer free delivery and price points that are better than the big box brands. I mean, why wouldn't we support a business that's been around for 62 years, led by John Vermillion, the one-time Chamber of Commerce Small Business Person of the Year, now the baton being passed to his son, Andrew Vermillion. It's 3 generations of family running it, and their family's been in Albemarle County 5 generations. They got a sister company called Charlottesville Swimming Pool Company that if you need a swimming pool built above ground or below ground, you contact them. Water testing, water cleaning, pool robots, pool covers, the shade to cover your pool, almost like a pergola type shade. CharlottesvilleSwimmingPoolCompany.com. We use it for our family pool in Albemarle County. I mean, the Vermillions, class, people, class. Suzanne Bailey Shimp is watching the program. Is this Suzanne Bailey Shimp's first comment? Is it? If so, welcome to the family. She says, curious if the people of Augusta County will boycott the Augusta Free Press because the majority of Augusta County would agree with Jesse Rutherford. What's odd about Chris expressing or keyboard flexing his anti-Republican ideology in print on his website
Screed.
is Augusta County is Republican overwhelmingly.
Yeah. He even mentions that in the article.
It's overwhelmingly conservative and votes conservative.
Mm-hmm.
Yet he has TDS. Is it TDS?
Yeah.
No, it's a DTS.
TDS.
It's certainly not DTF.
No, I hope not. It's DTS.
Is it DTS?
Yeah.
Not DTF.
Wait, TDS.
Is it TDS or DTF?
Now you got me confused.
DDS?
TDS.
PBS.
There you go.
CBS.
So you think they're going to make TDS a TV station?
What is it?
that
What
you're
is the
saying?
actor? What is the
Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah, Trump derangement syndrome. I would say he has that, right?
It would be my guess.
But he's not
I've
DTF.
never spoken with him.
Comments
I
continue
don't
to
want
come
to know the answer to that question. There are some things you don't ask and you don't want the answer is 2.
Philip Reese is watching the program. Jerry, I politely disagree on your analysis regarding the redistricting. Jerry, his comment went down. The comments are coming in so quickly that it dropped down my comment section, and I didn't have a chance to read it on time. So now I have to go to the comment section and my phone here to read it. Philip, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it to it. I like when people disagree with us. Do you see where the comment went? Oh, it's on the I Love CVille Facebook page. This show airs on 15 Facebook pages, 15 Twitter accounts, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Fountain, Rumble, Spotify, iTunes, everywhere you can think of. Okay, I'm going to get to the chairman of the Emerald County Republican Committee, which I respect tremendously. He knows I do. Here it is. Jerry, I politely disagree on your analysis regarding the redistricting gerrymandering amendment. I think it will be close, but I think the majority will vote no to this amendment. Early voting indicates Republicans are coming out to vote at a much higher clip. Don't take my word for it, read it here. And then he shares a link from vpap.org. Philip, I hope, sir, I respect you tremendously. We got to get you back on the broadcast. I hope you're 100% right. I want voters to select and to elect politicians. I don't want politicians electing and selecting other politicians by redistricting or gerrymandering. If anyone watches this program, I think Virginia and folks that live in the Commonwealth should absolutely and firmly vote no to redistricting or gerrymandering, however you want to utilize whatever branding fits your ideology. I think they should vote no. My hunch is that it will pass. I think it will pass. I respect that Philip Reese is sharing a link from vpap.org that says right now it's going to be tight and close. Scott Harris is watching the program. Scott Harris says, and he runs an upscale and elevated car and transportation service. He says, it's a trip to drive a group of wine drinkers past Trump, praising the flags until they find out the name behind it. I've heard some things both ways. And what he's alluding to is Trump Winery, outside the winery, has got the most amount of American flags you will ever see on the perimeter of the winery. Like literally, how many would you say, Scott? Hundreds of American flags dot the perimeter of the winery. And with his transportation service, as folks are being transported around wine country, everyone's like, well, probably tipsy and drunk, look at those American flags.
God bless America.
God bless America. Let's pledge of allegiance. And then they see the signage at the entrance. Yeah.
You literally hear the
especially in Virginia.
Lock up.
Especially in Virginia. I also saw on one of the, it's also been passed on to me. We do a boatload of business brokerage. In fact, there's no one that is brokering more business sales, helping people buy businesses, exit businesses, fundraise for businesses than our firm. And it's not even close. It's not even close, ladies and gentlemen. It came across my desk that Hop On Tours is for sale.
Wow.
CVille Hop On Tours, founded by Andre Xavier and John Craig. $800,000 asking price with a willingness to carry $400,000 in paper with $400,000 up front. That's a lot of skin in the game up front. I'm curious to see what that trades for. In fact, I may have somebody that wants to kick the tires on that, but that's a conversation with a signed NDA off air. And what I talked about right now is no capacity in violation with any signed, any non-disclosure agreement. Scott Harris said he heard it's 300 American flags that dot the perimeter of Trump Winery. 300. Kevin Yancey says it's not, the initials are not TDS. Kevin Yancey in Waynesboro says it's FDT. FDT.
I love figuring out acronyms.
So is FDT the second cousin of DTF, Kevin Yancey? Or is FDT what we think it is?
I think it's what we think it is.
Okay, all right. Just curious. Kevin Yancey also says, please have Mr. Rutherford post his comments when it was announced that Texas was doing it. Oh, wait, he didn't.
But we're not Texans.
A lot of people are saying it's completely fair for Virginia to respond this way because of what Trump has encouraged other states to do. Don Gathers called it. Don Gathers said on the I Love CVille network. What did one of Charlottesville's most significant activists, Don Gathers, compare the gerrymandering and redistricting to? Do you remember?
Oh, it was a non sequitur.
No, here it is. I posted it on the I Love CVille Instagram. Don Gathers said, there's a direct attack on the democracy of our country. Texas and their actions fired off a nuclear weapon on the United States of America. He said, in essence, Texas has threatened our democracy, and as a result, we need to respond accordingly here in Virginia. He calls it a nuclear attack, what Texas has done on the United States of America. Don Gathers.
Yeah.
This is one of the most respected activists in the city of Charlottesville. Just so you hear the other side.
No, I understand. That wasn't the comment that I was thinking of, but I appreciate him giving us his perspective.
Just so you hear it.
I've read his comments.
Augusta Free Press, wow. Next headline, Judah Whitcover. What have we not covered so far at the 1:15 marker of the I Love CVille show?
Let's see. There's Albemarle giving tax dollars to CVille for the homeless shelter.
Why don't you put that lower third on screen? Let me ask you this question. Should Charlottesville City Council, in some kind of joint session, call on Albemarle County and its supervisors to contribute to its homeless shelter initiative? Now, if that does happen, Albemarle County supervisors will basically laugh at Charlottesville City and say,
we're giving you enough already.
Go F yourself. What do you call the revenue sharing agreement and the $22 million we're kicking you this year?
Yeah.
10% of your budget, Charlottesville City. That's laughable for you to ask for more from us. That's what the supervisors will do. But if I'm Charlottesville City Council, if I'm an elected member on council in Charlottesville, I would utilize my position on the dais to call on Albemarle County to contribute to what is going to be somewhere between $12 and $16 million for that Holiday Drive actualized shelter whenever it's in operation, probably sometime when Judah's collecting Social Security. No, I kid. It's probably 3-4 years from now. Okay, you're not going to be collecting Social Security there, but hopefully the I Love CVille show will have played matchmaker here. He's single and ready to mingle, fellas and ladies. Give him that blue steel.
No.
Okay.
Come on.
He's single and ready to mingle, ladies. If I was on council, I would say you should contribute. And they're going to say no, but at least they've papered the trail and said,
we tried.
We tried. Because that shelter is on the county-city line.
Yeah.
On the county-city line. And that shelter is going to be patronized and utilized by the houseless in Albemarle County as well. There's no existing equivalent in Albemarle. So city should say, Albemarle, pony up here. Albemarle will respond and say, we're kicking you $22 million already.
Albemarle will respond and say, how many houseless do you think we have?
Albemarle has a houseless population. The reason Charlottesville's population seems more significant is because it's
they're in view,
congregated and aggregated in the crown jewel of the city, the downtown mall. They're in view because it's under a bridge where 10,000 plus vehicles go by it every day, free bridge. That's why. Being
houseless, do we attribute a particular city or county to them individually? I would imagine some of them move around.
Oh, without question. It's transient population. It's nomadic. Such is the nature of not having a permanent address.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you consider the permanent address, the second column next to the oak tree where the river slightly breaks under Freebridge. Is that the permanent address? That's where the Charlottesville subreddit. Come on, use that one right there for me.
It's the tree with the stormtrooper helmet on it. I've got pictures if you want to see it.
You took pictures?
No. This is from wherever the pictures that we got earlier were taken.
Put it on screen.
Let's see.
Handsome Hank
There
Martin.
it is.
Look at the screen, viewers and listeners. Look at the screen. Look at the screen.
You might have to squint, but that is 100% a stormtrooper helmet, seemingly nailed to a tree.
Handsome Hank Martin is watching the program. His photo on screen. That does look like a stormtrooper helmet. He says, "We, the taxpayers of Albemarle County, are giving $21 million annually already. By their own estimate thus far by Charlottesville City Council, City Manager Sam Sanders, $21 million would basically complete the Hapless Holiday Drive facility in its entirety. Would it not be more logical for Charlottesville City Council and Sam Sanders to self-audit and eliminate its own financial waste rather than continuing to depend on Albemarle citizens to continue the current codependency relationship that enables such aforementioned waste? Adding insult to injury, Impact, through its misuse and misunderstanding of the biblical book of Nehemiah, will be putting 6 of our county supervisors through its annual inquisition, demanding more funding from county taxpayers for the homeless and an increase in CAT drivers, Charlottesville Albemarle Transit drivers, and better schedules. This is simply not realistic currently." I agree with him. Can you break down the biblical book of Nehemiah and its misuse and misunderstanding, Judah?
I can try.
You're the theologian on this talk show. I'm just a guy that was raised in a Jewish neighborhood that attended a Catholic school and reared in a Southern Baptist church.
Well, here's the Impact website. Impact stands for Interfaith Movement Promoting Action by Congregations Together.
DTF? What was that acronym?
No, I don't think they ever used the acronym DTF at Impact.
I'm still very much a child.
I
at
hope
heart.
they don't. I hope they don't.
My wife knows
So
this better than I.
Nehemiah Action. They talk about this. They call it every year. They hold a blah 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 gathering a bunch of people. We call this our Nehemiah Action Assembly. Essentially, it has to do with the book of Nehemiah that they're referencing discusses the people of Israel. What's the word I'm looking for? Petitioning for and receiving, because of Nehemiah's actions, receiving justice. Because at the time they were being asked to build stuff. Anyways, they had incurred debt by selling land, selling children into slavery, and they wanted a way to seek redress. And I think if I understand Hank's issue with it, because I don't really understand enough about Impact and the Nehemiah Action Assembly or what they're asking for, I think they're asking for a promise of $10 million to go towards affordable housing. But the problem with that
That's true.
The problem with that and pinning a book of the Bible on the action is that the Bible, especially in the second half, the New Testament, it's not about taking God's justice and asking Rome to be in charge of that justice. And so I believe what Hank is saying is that it's silly for this group to pull from the Bible and say, hey, you should tax these people more so that we can help people.
Yeah.
Because the Bible is not about getting the government to take other people's money to do what you feel is right. It's about taking that personal action yourself.
Well said. And on top of that, succinctly, how can we...
You're saying I wasn't succinct?
I thought you did a great job. I sincerely mean that.
Thank you.
That is not one of your virtues.
No.
But your contribution to the talk show, when it's like this, what you just did, makes the program better.
Thank you.
And you made the program better. Succinctly,
All right, the show's over.
How can we create housing affordability if we take more money away from houses?
Yeah.
How make it make sense? How do we create housing affordability by taking the money away from the people that are in the houses? How do we create housing affordability by creating more taxes on the houses?
Yeah.
Wait till this 15-cent personal property tax rate increase hits Albemarle County. The supervisors of Albemarle are going to make Albemarle more wealthy, white, and homogenous, and less poor and diverse, and people that are business investors or have dry powder on hand will capitalize even more. That's what's going to happen. And let me test my theological skill set. Okay, you mentioned the New Testament. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John,
Yeah.
Acts, Romans,
I can't even get them in
1
order.
Corinthians, 2 Corinthians,
Oh, there's a lot of them.
Galatians,
Galatians.
Ephesians,
Philippians. Filipinos.
and Filipinos, and
I'm joking.
Colossians. I can't go any further than that. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty
There's
darn
a
good.
Titus in there in the New Testament.
Yeah, there's like 1st and 2nd Peter. There's
1 and 2 Peter's not in the New Testament, is it?
yeah,
It is?
yeah.
Okay. I stand corrected.
Peter's the rock on which the church was built.
Grew up in a Jewish neighborhood, raised Southern Baptist, and educated in a Catholic school. Religious mutt. Yours truly. Albemarle County, if I was a city of Charlottesville elected official, I would on the record say, Albemarle, you should contribute to this homeless shelter. We're building the Waldorf Astoria, the Ritz-Carlton for the homeless here on Holiday Drive. It's going to cost us about $16 million when it's all said and done. I'm going to take that $16 million and I'm going to divide it by 80 beds. It's going to be roughly $200,000 a cot on this Holiday Drive homeless shelter. And we want some of Albemarle County's money to make this Ritz-Carlton for the homeless on Holiday Drive a reality. Albemarle County is going to respond and be like, here's the one-finger salute. Actually, you know what? Sally Duncan...
Isn't it $2 million a bed?
No.
Oh, 80. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sally Duncan and Mike Pruitt would probably be like, well, here's my money. Here's my wallet. Here's the taxpayers' money. Sally Duncan would be like, let me take you to the Albemarle County Brinks truck. This is where Jeff Richardson keeps the credit card. Here's where the business taxes are. I will raise the real estate tax rate and the personal property tax rate to cover half the debt service for this Ritz-Carlton for the homeless. That's what Sally Duncan would do.
I'm just going to open the back doors and, I'll leave.
It's like the monkeys. Don't tell. That's what Sally Duncan would do. Thank God, or at least we hope, Malik and Lepisto Kirtley and Fred Missel would say, no, you can't take our money. We've already given you $22 million of it this year.
Yeah.
But council should ask for it and just to get a no on the record from Albemarle. That's what I would do if I'm an elected official. All right, next headline. We didn't get to this yesterday. We need to give time to this headline. This is the UVA headline.
Skip all the other ones?
The UVA headline. We've covered a lot of them, haven't we?
3.
What haven't we covered?
Only 79 signers for the petition to remove police from schools.
I want to cover this one because this isn't going to be a lot of attention. The most notorious activists in Charlottesville City right now are whom, Judah?
Livable CVille.
The Gillikins.
Is there...
The Gillikins are the most notorious activists. Now that Ziana Bryant is an elected official, the former most notorious activist in Charlottesville history, Ziana Bryant, is entrusted with managing over $100 million of Charlottesville Public Schools' yearly budget. Make that make sense. A 23-year-old that has no children, that is the most notorious activist in the city, is now one of 6 people that is running the $100 million plus yearly budget for Charlottesville Public Schools. But now that she's entrusted with over $100 million, Ziana Bryant, despite not having any kids in school, Now the moniker for most notorious activists has been embodied by a husband and wife tandem called the Gillikins. The Mrs. Gillikin is the president of the teacher union in the city. She's a kindergarten teacher. Mr. Gillikin is the co-founder of Livable CVille. And yesterday, they launched a cahooted petition.
Cahooted?
Yeah, I turned cahoots into a verb. Cahooted. They were in cahoots. They cahooted a petition.
Okay.
And that petition was to take the school resource officers, the police, and the pipeline to prison out of the schools in Charlottesville public schools. These these policemen, these coppers, these flatfoots are dangerous for the students because it's a pipeline to prison for our students. So they got a petition, a change.org. Let's make a digital movement here. Started yesterday. And wow, the engagement has been significant. Want to know how significant, Judah?
I think it's on the screen.
Is it on the screen? 79 people have signed this so far. 79 people, that's it, have signed this petition so far. This is the biggest wet fart of petitions that I've ever seen in my entire life. This is like a, the ones where it's just like,
Lord.
You know what I'm talking about?
On.
This is 79 people.
Yeah.
This is an embarrassment. 79 people have signed a petition led by the most notorious activists in Charlottesville. Just got to 80.
There you go.
In 24 hours. What is going to happen when this wet fart of a petition turns into nothing but wet underwear? Are they going to realize that people want
more and more appetizing every
that
second.
people want the police officers in the schools?
Yeah.
If you're not doing anything wrong, what do you have to worry about? Chief Kodges has got a department of honorable people.
Yeah.
What is wrong with a metal detector at school? What is wrong with a school resource officer that knows students' names at school? What is wrong with a metal detector at athletic events? Seriously. Mm-hmm. The school board voted in favor of this. The superintendent wanted this.
Yeah.
Stop pushing your politics onto residents and parents and taxpayers. Gillikins, please. Please. You're just driving away so much of community stakeholder engagement because folks are fearful of a couple of hundred people ganging up against them. That's what's happening. This is why Albemarle County is beating the brakes off of Charlottesville City in economic development. Albemarle County tax revenue collections, Albemarle County home values, Albemarle County engagement, evangelism. Stop it, Gillikins. And everyone that's watching and listening to this show knows what I'm saying is 100% right. You all are nodding in agreement. Next question, next topic. Are we going to push the diverse UVA student body again? I don't think we should. Have I covered everything else? The women's basketball team, I can give 30 seconds to that.
Yeah.
The lower third on screen. They play TCU on Saturday. The women's basketball team is in the Sweet 16. This is the Cinderella story of March Madness. There is no Cinderella story in the men's side. Maybe you can say Texas is a Cinderella story, okay? But it's still Texas. Maybe you can say that's a Cinderella story in the men's side. I believe the Longhorns are an 11 seed. On the women's side, the Cinderella story is is Coach Mox and Kimora Johnson and the women's team. They're a 10 seed. They went from the play-in game. Then they beat Georgia. Then they beat Iowa and Iowa City. Now they got TCU in prime time Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. The Horned Frogs are a 9.5-point favorite. This is an amazing story. And I want to highlight this, and I talked about this on the Jerry and Jerry show this morning. Subscribe to JerryRatcliffe.com, Judah. JerryRatcliffe.com it's $8 a month. It's the best $8 you will spend a month if you're a Virginia sports fan. It's content that you can't get anywhere else. It's 2 to 3 pieces of content per day. In this news desert of UVA sports, the man that's producing the best content possible Virginia sports-wise is Jerry Ratcliffe of JerryRatcliffe.com. I said this on the Jerry and Jerry show this morning. It is no coincidence. There is no coincidence at all, that when UVA in year one of going all in, of doing the cannonball off the diving pool into the deep end with name, image, and likeness, paying athletes to play at the University of Virginia, its football team finished with 11 wins, most in school history. Mm-hmm. Its basketball team posted 30 wins, only the 6th time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in UVA basketball history have they logged 30 wins. Its women's basketball team is in the Sweet 16. Its softball team is one of the best in the country. Its tennis team, it's one of the best in the country. The swimming team just won its 6th straight national championship. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Its squash team is top 8 in the country. UVA goes balls to the wall, all in, DTF on the NIL. And look at the results. They're crushing it. I hated initially the pay-for-play environment. I hated it because it took away the authenticity, the genuineness of student-athlete. Now, with some hindsight, I love it because the alumni at the University of Virginia are ridiculously rich and wealthy. And as a result of that affluence and dollar bills, y'all, they are funding sports at the University of Virginia at the top clip in the country, and that pay-for-play is producing performance. There's no coincidence here. We'll give some love to Stanley Martin Homes. Stanley Martin Homes, one of the top developers and home builders in Central Virginia, is producing homes of tremendous quality. Stanley Martin is dedicated to building homes that cater to each person's unique needs and lifestyles. High-quality single-family homes, townhomes, and condominiums designed and constructed with innovative techniques that ensure exceptional efficiency and aesthetic appeal. Stanley Martin Homes. We're 65 minutes into this water cooler of content and conversation. 65 minutes. There's no brand or platform in the entire region that reaches more people across all platforms except for the University of Virginia. It's UVA, then our brand, and it's not even close. You can roll up all the legacy media into one, and they still don't even sniff our jockstrap. We have to go make some money. Do we want to talk about the student body at the University of Virginia, or will we be doing it a disservice?
Yeah, maybe we hold off for now.
That's your call. You're a key contributor here. Do we do that?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, then we got a lead on the show with it tomorrow.
All right.
Can you give them a tease of what to expect?
Yes. There was a large drop in the admissions in the offerings of admissions at UVA since DEI was
eradicated, castrated, removed, dispelled,
and
defunct,
the findings
erased,
show that
eliminated.
Overall, admissions have become more selective.
Whacked, disappeared,
Sure. Applicants, black applicants, the offer rates fell 14.5%. Hispanic applicants, the offer rates dropped 8%. White and Asian applicants dropped 7.5 and 7 points, respectively. And we're curious why that is. And we're also curious if UVA is in a better position choosing applicants in a different way. That's all I'm going to say.
We're going to ask this question tomorrow. Should the student body of the University of Virginia be statistically the top performers academically, regardless of diversity? Or should the student body at the University of Virginia be one of diversity priority first? That's a very touchy and hot topic.
No doubt.
Do you want the University of Virginia and its first years, second years, third years, and fourth years and graduate students to be the best of the best academically? Or do you want first years, second years, third years, fourth years, and graduate students to be, most importantly, well-rounded with its socioeconomic status and academically inclined second?
Mm-hmm.
That topic, we promise, we hope to get to.
We'll see.
You're writing the headline, so it's up to you. You got 2 headlines done over here.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I could veto.
You have just as much skin in the game now on the show as I do. It wasn't the case previously, but certainly now, and that's the case. Twist my arm. Tomorrow's show. Judah Wickower, yours truly, Jerry Miller. Thank you kindly for joining us so long.